Spain wins the World Cup for the second time, defeating Argentina 1-0 in a dramatic final. CNN. Spain are World Cup champions. A goal in the second half of extra time was all that was needed to bring Spain the country's second World Cup championship as they defeated Argentina and Lionel Messi 1-0 after 120 minutes of tension. Ferran Torres the hero. Torres' goal in the 106th minute broke a lengthy deadlock in a game dominated by Spain. He took a pass from Nico Williams and buried it in the net. Argentina pushed for an equalizer late but couldn't find the net. First World Cup final halftime show. A rapid-fire show of stars marked the first World Cup final halftime show, as Madonna, BTS, Justin Bieber, Shakira, and others all made appearances. It was a colorful display, if a bit crowded with all the top names on display. Trump lingers after handing off trophy. U.S. President Donald Trump handed off the trophy to Spanish captain Rodri, lingering on the edge of the frame as Spain lifted the trophy and celebrated.
Wet boots ruining your mornings? The job site boot dryer uses gentle, fanless heat to quietly dry boots, shoes, and gloves overnight, helping reduce dampness and odor. Want to check today's Amazon deal? Scan the QR code now or visit grabdeal.us/4 before it's gone.
Our coverage of the World Cup final between Spain and Argentina had ended. Read below for more news and analysis from the final. It's not always the case that the best team wins the World Cup, but that certainly happened this summer. Despite starting the tournament off with a frustrating 0-0 draw against Cape Verde, Spain grew into the tournament and absolutely deserved to lift the trophy. And while today's final wasn't the greatest watch ever, there was only really going to be one winner. From the outset, Spain stuck to a game plan that has served it so well for so many years. It took command of the ball and popped it around with so much confidence and under so much pressure from Argentina players snapping at its heels. And although it wasn't creating many clear-cut chances in a scrappy first half, it was tiring the legs of its opposition and laying the foundation for its late winner. After that historic halftime show, La Roja came out flying. It pinned Argentina back into its own half and wouldn't let it out. So much of the build-up was about Lionel Messi and Lamine Yamal, but in truth, neither really impressed. Messi was so quiet throughout, struggling to keep up with the pace of Spain's movement. Every time he did get the ball, he was quickly smothered with no one to really pass to up the pitch. Spain did have the ball in the back of the net during the second half, when Nico Williams smashed home a loose ball, but the referee ruled it out for a foul on Nicolas Otamendi in the build-up. It was very soft, and certainly didn't help this unfounded narrative that Argentina was getting some sort of help from the officials during this tournament. Then came a moment that many saw coming. Enzo Fernandez was playing on the edge for much of the knockout matches, but his aggression boiled over when it really mattered. He picked up a second yellow card for cartwheeling a defender in the air and was sent off just moments before the end of the 90 minutes. The referee had no choice really, and Argentina entered extra time with 10 men. At that point, Argentine goalkeeper Emi Martinez had saved so many shots that it was just a matter of time before one beat him. Then, in the 106th minute, Spain's Ferran Torres popped up to do just that. The goal came after brilliant play from Nico Williams, who nodded his header back down to Torres, who rifled his shot into the back of the net. Cue bedlam from Spain fans around the world. Going behind did seem to spur Argentina into action, and Messi started pulling the strings. In truth, it probably could have scored in the final seconds, but for once, a miracle comeback wasn't to be. Spain rightly won its second World Cup title, its first since 2010. Argentina, meanwhile, pushed all tournament but fell just short in its title defense. In the end, it was the right result, if such a thing is even possible in sport. Fans are going wild in the streets of Madrid tonight after Spain's World Cup victory. There's plenty of flag waving, champagne spraying, and car horn honking. Some fans brought Roman candles and are firing them into the air. The few Argentina fans in town are conspicuous with their blue and white outfits and their rather subdued mood. One CNN producer watched a crowd of Spain supporters follow a couple of the Argentina fans down a side street, waving Spanish flags, taking pictures, and chanting. One of the Argentina supporters there took the mockery in stride, blowing kisses with the large Argentine flag draped around her shoulders. In a sort of repeat of last year's Club World Cup trophy presentation, U.S. President Donald Trump stayed on stage after the trophy presentation, even as FIFA President Gianni Infantino encouraged him to step away to give Spain the chance to celebrate. It's a fitting image at the end of a tournament that has felt the president's presence off the pitch during the months of build-up and a major controversy involving the USA team and now on it. Striker Ferran Torres was at a loss for words after scoring the game-winning goal to lead Spain to the World Cup win. "Honestly, I can't believe it," Torres said. "I just try to enjoy, but I don't know what's happening." Torres described the moment he scored the goal by saying he didn't think too much. "Saw the ball coming to me, and I just shoot with the power of all the Spanish people," Torres said. The World Cup title is the only thing that really matters, but there were a host of other trophies handed out before Spain got its hands on their prize. To start, Spanish defender Pau Cubarsí was named the best young player at the tournament after the 19-year-old helped guide his side to total dominance. On that note, Unai Simon was awarded the Golden Glove for being the best goalkeeper this summer, and rightly so. The keeper only conceded once the whole tournament. To complete the hat trick, midfielder Rodri won the Golden Ball for the best player of the tournament. In truth, it couldn't really go to anyone else. He was crucial to his side's success and is such a beautiful player to watch perform. And finally, France's Kylian Mbappé was named the winner of the Golden Boot after scoring 10 goals, becoming the World Cup all-time top scorer. It's the moment so many players dream of, and it's a reality for Rodri, the fantastic Spanish midfielder. He takes the World Cup trophy from Gianni Infantino and Donald Trump and lifts it high into the air as confetti goes off around him. Trump hangs around at the edge of the players, even as Infantino tried to usher him away to watch them celebrate before eventually exiting. Spain are well and truly world champions now, with Die Die playing in the background, as the song has so often during this tournament. Spain walks up to receive their winners' medals, only moments away from lifting the trophy now. One of the more awkward moments of the post-game celebration comes now as the defeated side gets their runners-up medals from the dignitaries. A lot of long faces from the Argentines as they greet the various heads of state and get their medals. Lionel Messi is openly crying on the pitch after receiving his medal, looking around the stadium in what very well could be his last time in the Argentina shirt as a player. He's serenaded by his admiring fans, and the emotion is written all over his face as tears roll down his cheeks. Let me just list some of the major trophies Lamine Yamal has now won in his career. Just a reminder, he's only just turned 19. 3 La Liga titles, 1 European championship, and now 1 World Cup. Most of the best players in the world go their whole careers without winning as much as that. Yes, he still needs a Champions League trophy to complete the set, but he'll have a great chance of doing that with Barcelona next season. The superstar wasn't the reason his team won the final today, but he still played well. It's no wonder he sat on the pitch with a massive smile on his face. U.S. President Donald Trump has stepped onto the stage at midfield alongside FIFA President Gianni Infantino to present the medals to both teams and the trophy to world champions Spain. Joining Trump and Infantino are Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, the leaders of the tournament's co-hosts. With the World Cup win, Spain is the first country to be reigning men's champion of the World Championship, European Championship, and Olympics simultaneously. And it's not just limited to the boys. Spain is the first country to hold the men's and women's World Cups simultaneously. Additionally, with the victory today, La Roja ended Argentina's incredible run as winners of 3 major tournaments in a row, an achievement Spain also managed with wins in Euro 2008, the 2010 World Cup, and Euro 2012. Given the way they've behaved during this World Cup, it's hardly a surprise the Argentina players were busy fighting after the full-time whistle. First, it was Nahuel Molina who pushed Rodri as the midfielder ran on the pitch to celebrate the win. The Spaniard turned back and stared down the Argentine before a host of other players got involved. Chief among those to lose their heads was Argentina's Leandro Paredes, who started pushing and swinging at the opposition. It was a bitter way for this campaign to end for the defending champion, but quite fitting considering its approach this summer. The vibes are downcast in Buenos Aires Plaza Bieber, where many Argentina fans had gathered to watch the final this afternoon. Plaza Bieber had been mostly silent since Spain scored its goal, with a few muffled shouts and whispers of hope anytime Lionel Messi touched the ball. Many Argentina supporters are leaving the plaza in tears. Nonetheless, a few good sports clapped for Spain when it was declared the winner. The chilly winter weather adds to the overall unhappy mood. President Donald Trump will hand the Spanish the 2026 World Cup trophy tonight, the culmination of a dream he has sought to make a reality since he lobbied for the U.S. hosting the tournament during his first term. The tournament has been colored by Trump's friendship with FIFA President Gianni Infantino, which has grown since the 2018 announcement that the U.S., along with Mexico and Canada, would host the matches. After Trump's second-term inaugural rally in January 2025, Infantino wrote on Instagram, "Together, we will make not only America great again, but also the entire world." Infantino has been ubiquitous in Washington and Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort ever since, even coming to the president's Gaza peace deal summit in Egypt last year. Some of his actions have appeared to conflict with FIFA's statutes, which stress it remains neutral in matters of politics. But Infantino defended his friendship with Trump at a meeting in Northern Ireland last year. "I think it is absolutely crucial for the success of a World Cup to have a close relationship with the president," Infantino said, according to the Agence France Presse news agency. During the World Cup draw in 2025, Infantino presented Trump with the first FIFA Peace Prize, after Trump's unsuccessful campaign to win the Nobel Peace Prize. The imprint of Trump's immigration policies on the tournament was felt long before the first kickoff, when some fans chose to skip the matches out of concern over violent crackdowns at the stadiums. Fans from more than a quarter of the countries in the tournament also faced travel bans, tighter restrictions, or high visa rejection rates. The tournament's biggest on-field controversy came the day before the U.S. was set to play Belgium without striker Folarin Balogun, whose red card in the team's previous matchup meant he was ineligible to take the field. FIFA shocked the soccer world by announcing the Balogun would be allowed to play. The announcement came after Trump personally asked Infantino to review the decision red card and ban, and although FIFA said an independent committee made the decision, the saga ignited questions around the integrity of the tournament. A recent Quinnipiac poll of Pennsylvanians, for example, showed 52% of respondents disapproved of the president getting involved. Trump has mused about bringing the World Cup back to the U.S. in 2038. "We will be requesting it again immediately," Trump told Fox Sports ahead of today's final. He suggested the U.S. co-host with China, adding jokingly that the players would have a nice short flight in between games. It's not the ending that Lionel Messi and Argentina were hoping for, but it's been a remarkable run. Messi and his teammates made it clear throughout the entire run that bringing home their second consecutive World Cup trophy meant so much more this year because of the 39-year-old's legacy. Now, after several comeback victories to make it back to the biggest stage in international soccer, La Albiceleste is going home without the hardware. While Messi might not have gotten his storybook ending, he's still one of the greatest to ever step on the pitch. The fans back in Buenos Aires and his teammates will make sure that reputation doesn't change. In an incredible bit of symmetry, Messi might have played his final match for Argentina at MetLife Stadium, the same place where he announced he was retiring from the national team in 2016 after losing in the Copa America final. He would obviously return, but continuing on with the national team this time around feels unlikely. The scenes coming out of Spain's capital are unreal. CNN International's Pau Mosquera is live from Madrid, and the fans are out and celebrating. One fan described it as the best moment of his life. The whistle is blown and Spain has done it. La Roja is the world champion after an incredible tournament. Spanish fans all over the world will be celebrating throughout the night, including this one. Coming from Lionel Messi's corner kick in the last 5 minutes of injury time for this World Cup final, Giuliano Simon's shot was much too strong, soaring up and over the goal. That could have been the equalizer, and Simon knew it. He fell to his knees as soon as the ball left his foot. Alexis Mac Allister has tallied up yet another yellow card for Argentina as the emotions are starting to come out of the players who have come so far only to be thoroughly suffocated by Spain's style of play. Still 0 shots for La Albiceleste in what has been a disappointing showing for Argentina, to say the least. Our colleague Stegano Pozobin in Buenos Aires reports, the vibes are miserable in Buenos Aires Plaza Sieber, where many Argentina fans are gathered watching the game. A few whispers and muffled shouts here and there whenever Messi touches the ball.